Buy zero point 0.1 Bitcoin and become rich. Okay guys, Tariq here again with another video. And in this video, we're going to talk about the simplicity of just purchasing 10% of one Bitcoin or zero point 0.1 BTC or 10 million Satoshis, and the ability for you to become rich over time without doing anything else. That means not working any extra hours, not taking a second or third job, not applying for or changing or switching your career, not going back to school. But all you have to do is simply hold at least 0.1 Bitcoin in your possession. And over time, guys, you will become one of the wealthiest people on the planet. So in this video, I'm going to explain how this all works, the dynamics of the scarce Bitcoin supply, and why holding 0.1 Bitcoin will make you rich. So guys, if you enjoy my content, please smash the like button on this video. It really helps me out. So let's get right into it, guys. Why 0.1 Bitcoin? Well, guys, we check the price of Bitcoin right now, okay? As of uploading this video, okay, Bitcoin is currently trading at around 68,000 US dollars. So to acquire 0.1 BTC, you'll need about $6,800, guys. Okay, so obviously, you know, we know a lot of people, a lot of you guys watch this video probably don't actually have almost $7,000 or, you know, to invest in this magical cryptocurrency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly explain to you why the power of investing in 0.1 BTC can really change your life and make you much more wealthier than you imagine in a very short amount of time, guys. We're not talking about the next 20 or 30 years, okay? We're talking in just a couple of years as hyper-Bitcoinization. What I mean by hyper-Bitcoinization, as when people start using Bitcoin as currency to buy things, and this can happen extremely quickly. So, okay, we have already 3 halving cycles into Bitcoin. So we all know Bitcoin is the original cryptocurrency. It has over $1 trillion market cap as of uploading this video, and it's the most popular cryptocurrency by far. Okay, a lot of people, you know, invest in altcoins like Ethereum and Litecoin and Cardano and Solana, but there are also a lot of people that just use Bitcoin. Okay, over the Bitcoin dominance, meaning what percentage of Bitcoin is the total crypto market cap, is over 50% as of uploading this video. So Bitcoin is here to stay. It's safe, it's sound, it's like the tortoise, and every 10 minutes a new block is put out. It's like taking a step, right? Getting stronger and stronger and stronger, okay? So Bitcoin is like a marathon, okay? It's like this long-term savings account. That's how I like to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a long-term savings account, okay? So we know traditional savings accounts, you know, you put your money in there, you get a little bit of interest, 1%, 2%, 5%, depending on whatever the Fed fund rate is, whatever the 10-year treasury bill is. But Bitcoin is a little bit longer term than that, okay? Bitcoin is basically a network of savers all using the same currency. So one planet, one currency. Now, if you guys didn't know, there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin in total supply. So if you own 0.1 Bitcoin, let's do some quick math, guys. That means that there are only 210 million people on Earth that could possibly have at least 0.1 Bitcoin. And of course, we know some people out there have 0.5 Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin. Some people have a whole Bitcoin. Some people have 10. Some people have thousands of Bitcoins, okay? You know, some of these institutional investors like BlackRock and Fidelity, they have hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. But it's important to realize that the global population is over 8 billion and is continually growing. So there's only around 210 million people on Earth that could potentially have 0.1. And we know that the number is much smaller than that, but I'm just giving you a mathematical explanation of why this is so powerful. So imagine this, okay? If we were to take the 8 billion population and they were to say out of 210 million people, right? That's literally, you know, even less than the population just in the United States alone. I'm American, you know, so just less than the population of the United States alone. Doing some quick math, there are less than 3% of the human population that could at any point, get one point in time, have zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. Okay, so as we transition from fiat currencies, what I mean by fiat currencies, the US dollar, the euro, the yen, whatever currency you guys are using, depending on which country you guys live in, as we transition from fiat currencies into cryptocurrencies, right? We go from money that is inflated into oblivion into deflationary money, which is Bitcoin. You're guaranteed to be in the top 3% wealthiest people in the future on the planet. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about your specific country, okay? For instance, if you live in the United States, you're going to need a lot more than probably 0.1 Bitcoin to become one of the wealthiest people in the United States. But like I said, guys, this is all relative, okay? We live on the planet together. If you can get your hands on at least 0.1 Bitcoin, you're guaranteed to be in the top 3% wealthiest people on the planet, okay? And right now, Bitcoin is sitting at just around $68,000. So this would be an investment, as of recording this video, it would be an investment around $6,800. Okay, now historically, Bitcoin has basically done a 10x every cycle. So let's do some quick math, okay? We've already had 3 cycles under our belt. We're entering the 4th cycle. If Bitcoin does another 10x, okay, that $6,800 could potentially turn into $68,000. That's one cycle. Then another cycle. That $68,000 could turn into $680,000. When is the second cycle going to start? Well, when is the next cycle after this one, the current 4th one? The 5th cycle will get started in 2028, okay? So that's just 4 years from now. And then in another cycle, assuming Bitcoin does another 10x, as it continuously soaks up all of the money from all of these underperforming assets like bonds and treasury bills and underperforming stocks and real estate and derivatives and all of these assets that people are using right now that are not beating Bitcoin's performance, when Bitcoin's average returns over the last 10 years have been around 64 to 66%, depending on Bitcoin's short-term price fluctuations. Okay, so it's only going to be a matter of time until people wake up and realize that Bitcoin will give you around 60, 64, 65, 66% over the last decade. It's very stable, it's very reliable, and the network's been around for 15 years. It's still around, guys. Okay, that means by 2032, guys, okay, 8 years from now, not a long way away, your $6,800 investment could 100x into $680,000, guys. Just in a short time frame, okay? This is not going to take, decades and decades like you're investing in the S&P 500, anything like this. This is just simply based on Bitcoin's historical performance, based on how it seems like every halving cycle, Bitcoin just likes to 10x. And of course, we have all of these new products coming in, like the Bitcoin ETFs, that's going to help. And then, of course, we have more and more people getting interested in getting their hands on some of this crypto. So like I said, guys, I don't know for sure, okay? I'm not 100% sure about these price predictions. I'm just giving you the information based on what Bitcoin has been doing over the last 15 years, okay? Now, let's do another cycle, okay? So, just within 3 cycles, so 3 cycles will take place over the next 8 years, remember? So, 2024, there's a halving, 2028, there's a halving, and 2032. It's possible that your $6,800 investment could absolutely balloon to $6.8 million over the next 8 to 10 years. Now, I don't know, where you guys live, but having that type of money, assuming more and more money pours into Bitcoin, can be absolutely life-changing, okay? And, living in the United States and having, $6 million, you have no problems retiring comfortably, okay? With that type of money, you can retire at any country. I think right now, to retire comfortably in the United States, most people say you probably need somewhere around $1.5 to $2 million. Okay, obviously there are people that retire on less than that, but these are just the numbers that I've been reading online. Okay, as inflation gets worse, the numbers get bumped up more and more. But you'll probably need at least $2 million to retire comfortably in an expensive, high cost of living country like the United States. Now, if you guys obviously wanted to go overseas, okay, you could go overseas to a country and retire for much cheaper. But the point of the matter is that owning zero point 0.1 Bitcoin puts you in the driver's seat. It puts you in at least the top 3% of holders, guaranteed based on math. And the funny thing is that over time, the global population will slowly increase. So then that number will move over time from putting you in the top 3% to the top 2.7%, 2.6%, as more and more people are, the population starts growing, and then more and more Bitcoin over time will get lost. Okay, people will forget their private keys. People will lose Bitcoin. People will pass away and not give their private keys to anyone. They'll just, they just want to keep their Bitcoin with them for all of eternity. Things like that, guys. So over time, Bitcoin becomes more scarce and more scarce and more scarce, and your 0.1 Bitcoin will matter. Now, I know right now it doesn't seem like a lot, but remember, at one point, Bitcoin was $1,000, and just 0.1 Bitcoin would have cost you $100. Now that $100 would have already swelled into $6,800. So like I said, guys, don't think it's too late to buy Bitcoin. Don't think, 0.1 is not enough. Do whatever it takes to get your hands on 0.1 Bitcoin at least. And then obviously you want to get more and more and start accumulating more, but that should be your initial goal. So I'll give you guys a couple of tips to get there. First thing, start saving at least 10% of your income, put it into Bitcoin. I mentioned that in my video about everyone is going broke. That's a really easy thing you can do. So let's say you guys make, keep it easy. Let's say you guys make $2,000 a month, okay? You make $2,000 a month, you take $200, you buy Bitcoin. Do this on autopilot. Don't try to time the market. Don't try to wait for Bitcoin to drop. Once you get your salary, your paycheck, however you guys earn money, go to, open up, a cryptocurrency exchange account, okay? Or if you want to buy through the Bitcoin ETFs, put the money in your brokerage account. Put the $200 into Bitcoin. Rinse, repeat. Do it automatically like you're a robot. Get income 10% into Bitcoin. Now, some of you guys, depending on how much money you make, you can do more than that. You can maybe do 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. I'm sure some people put 75% of their income into Bitcoin. But starting at least 10%, that will get you there, and you'll get to 0.1 Bitcoin a lot sooner than you think if you stay consistent with that. The second tip you can do, okay? Cut out things you don't need. That means cutting off things that make you spend money on stuff you don't need, right? So it could be ending certain friendships. It could be getting out of, toxic relationships that drain your money. It could be stopping bad habits like smoking, drinking, okay, gambling, going to shopping malls and things like that. Just cut out the things that are holding you back so you can get to 0.1 Bitcoin. Another thing you can do to help you get to 0.1 Bitcoin very quickly, is sell stuff you don't need. Go through your garage, go through your attic, okay? For you guys that live at home, go through your closets and things like that, okay? If you live with your parents, things you accumulated during your childhood, okay? Stuff that has sentimental value to you, but you really don't need, that's creating clutter in your home and stuff like that. Go to eBay, right? You can sell stuff on Craigslist, okay? Take it to pawn shops. The things that you don't need can be holding you back from getting to 0.1 Bitcoin, whereas the 0.1 Bitcoin can put you in the top 3% of wealthiest people on the planet. And this won't take, like I mentioned in the example, this could happen over the next 2 or 3 cycles, okay? Like I said, having, $680,000 or whatever over the next, 4 to 6 years, it's only going to open doors for you. It's only going to give you more options. So make sure you do that. And then the last tip I'll give you to get to 0.1 Bitcoin even faster. Make Bitcoin your default savings account. So this is something that I've actually done. So when I first learned about Bitcoin, I was just looking at the price movements and stuff like that. But once I realized that I would just have more money using Bitcoin as my primary savings account, I simply just switched to using Bitcoin. So now Bitcoin is my primary savings account. Like I mentioned, it's a long-term savings technology. This has worked really well for me, and it can help you achieve your goals much faster. So instead of necessarily putting all of your money in like a high yield savings account or a traditional savings account where you're getting like a small interest rate, maybe 1% or 5% if you're lucky, you can use Bitcoin as your savings account. It's really easy to do that. You just save your Bitcoin, and then if you need something, you can just sell a little bit of it and transfer the money into your checking account. If you guys are looking for a good checking account, you guys live in the United States, be sure to check out SoFi. It's my favorite checking account. No overdraft fees, no foreign transaction fees, no minimum balances. Just basically no fees, guys. And they also have a really great debit card that you can use, and you can actually get a credit card as well. So that's what I would do. So that's what my fintech stack is. Bitcoin is my savings account, and then when I need money, I transfer into my SoFi checking. So those are just some of the tips, guys, that I think you can use to get to 0.1 Bitcoin. Don't underestimate the power of 0.1 Bitcoin, i.e. 10 million Satoshis. So in the future, right, there's a point where 1 Bitcoin equals $1. I do believe that maybe it might take a decade or two, but it is possible that 1 Satoshi at one point could equal $1 because over time, Bitcoin's price just keeps going up against the US dollar. Bitcoin keeps accelerating in price, and US dollar keeps losing value. Remember, maybe just 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, 1 Bitcoin was $1. Now it takes almost 70,000 US dollars to equal 1 Bitcoin. Saying this to you guys, but if I visually stacked $70,000 and then the same Bitcoin, the Bitcoin didn't change, but the amount of dollars it took to purchase that Bitcoin just keeps getting greater and greater and greater. And if I could had $70,000 or $68,000, $70,000 in cash to show you guys, you could really see the power of putting your savings into Bitcoin. So like I said, guys, hope this helps. Make getting at least 0.1 Bitcoin your goal, okay? Start from there. Once you get there, you'll probably want more. Then you can move towards 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Even try to get 1 Bitcoin. If you get 1 Bitcoin, aim for 2. Always keep raising the bar in life, guys. Don't get complacent. Always try to keep improving. And one of the best ways you can improve your financial, your finances and your financial future is to keep trying to get as much Bitcoin as possible, because they aren't making any more of it, guys. Remember, it's fixed. Only 21 million coins in total supply. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you like my content, please smash the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is 0.1 Bitcoin enough to become rich? Let me know what you think. So that's until next time, guys. Take care.